Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today, guys, I'm going to be doing some brief technical analysis on XRP to see what's been going on most recently and what I think might actually happen next. Now, as I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Now, if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. I'm doing a lot more technical analysis down in Discord on a whole host of different altcoins, so why not go ahead and check that out? It's completely free. Links in the description down below. Right, let's jump on down into the desktop and take a look at what is going on here with XRP. Okay, guys, we're going to start things off with this hourly chart. We're going to keep this nice and brief, just so we understand, what's been going on today and what I think is actually about to happen next here for XRP. So we've been tracking this one obviously for quite some time. As you're familiar with the channel, you'll know that we do quite regular updates on XRP, not just on the YouTube channel, but also in the Discord server. Here we were tracking an ABC move to the upside. So as you can see here, we have this definitive move. It's very corrective at the moment. We pulled back down. Now, we did think this was a turning point, but actually it just turns out to be an ABC inside of this B wave down. We actually lowered that to this point here, and then we start to track this to the upside. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can count it, but I think this one is the one that makes the most amount of sense. And again, this actually translates better over here onto the 4-hourly chart, for example, but I do like to do it on the hourly because it gives us a good idea as to kind of what's going on inside these waves. Here we can obviously see that that C wave potentially hasn't actually finished yet. So what we want to do is we want to find out how high this thing is likely to go before we might, expect some kind of corrective move. And then we're going to analyze what's going on inside this this C wave in itself, right? Because if we actually take the measurement from the top of our A wave down to the bottom of our A wave, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom in here on this fib and make sure I get this exactly where we need it. So it will be down here. And I'm just going to move this out of the way a second, and I'll move our fifth wave low out of the way just so that I can get that exactly where we need it. And then I'm going to take a look at the top here, make sure I get the A wave high point exactly where we want it. You can see I've not placed that exactly right, so I'm just going to come in here and drop that down a fraction just about there we go. Cool. So now we've got a measurement of this A wave up. We can now go ahead and transpose this over and see if what's going on with this C wave, right? So we're going to grab this fib, we're going to move it over to the B wave low, okay, this wick down here, and then we're going to see that we should be targeting the 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, it's the most common ratio here between the A and the C wave, and that's why we measure this A wave and we move it over to see if we are going to get the same kind of measurement here with this C wave. Now we've actually wicked up quite high here to about 77.5, and the target is about 77.9. So there is a little bit of resistance right in this zone, and again you can actually take a look at this over here where we can see how all this congestion, and that is probably going to be an area that we are going to find resistance on. So it could just fall short. We have already met the minimum requirements here for this corrective move, as in we've moved higher than that A wave high. Okay, so let's actually now take a look at what's going on from a micro scale here. What was actually occurring here that saw this steady move to the upside? Now, we actually have a really small ABC move here initially, nothing special. Obviously, there's some fundamental things that have been going on in the real world, which I think has brought in some confidence into the market, which is why we started to see, a bit of a push to the upside. But then we obviously see a lot of volatility on this way down, a little bit green. But I think there's a small ABC here, and it's probably really visible on the 30-minute chart. Maybe not so visible, but it's something right inside this move. It is not, it doesn't actually extend outside of this area. So let me just come back up into this 1-hour chart here for a second. What we're going to do is we're just going to zoom in here, and I'm going to mark this up the best I can, even though we don't have a definitive kind of count or visible count, but we do have these wicks, right? We have these low wicks and we have these high wicks. I'm going to draw this roughly in the middle there, but you kind of get the idea that we have an undecided market. Sellers had slight power here, but the wicks are telling us that there was a lot of buying pressure and a lot of selling pressure, even though we were steadily moving down. Once we reach this bottom here, you can see that the buyers kind of got control, and then obviously we had some interesting stuff reach the news outlets, and we started to see more of an impulsive move. And that's really what comes in next here. We have this wave 1, wave 2 coming down to the low point, and then we move up steadily into wave 3 high, and then a wave 4 and a wave 5. I do think that has completed the move, and again we can just use our fib tools to kind of measure out this second wave. Here you can see that we moved way past the 1.618 for the third wave, way past the 2.618. We saw the reversal coming back down, and what we can now do is now we have a confirmation of the impulsive break to the upside. What we want to do is we want to check this fourth wave here, and it comes down to this low point. We've already hit, again, the 1.618, and again, you would expect to see some kind of reversal here, and that's kind of what we're looking at. Now, obviously, outside of this is a little bit short of our target. Does this mean that we are, looking for, significant downside at this point? Not necessarily. There's a couple of things I think we have to be quite aware of here across the different timelines. Elliott wave theory, which is obviously all of these kind of counts that we've been doing with these waves, it's great, but it gives us a good idea as to direction, but doesn't necessarily give us all of the information that we require. So there's a little bit more that we want to dive into here. So the stochastic RSI is a good indication of momentum behind the price, right? So we've actually, pushed up pretty significantly, and we stayed in the overbought area for a little while. Now, we actually started to pull back down right here in this fourth wave low, and we lowered the stochastic RSI without doing too much damage to the price. That is telling us that there's not that much selling pressure going on right now. The momentum behind the downward price action isn't necessarily there, yet we are able to push the price up in a really significant way without actually moving this stochastic RSI too much to the upside. This is showing us that there's actually a lot more buying momentum than there is selling momentum. Okay, so this stochastic RSI has actually given us a good indication that things are looking pretty positive right now for XRP. So what we want to do is we want to acknowledge that after 5 waves up, we do normally see some kind of ABC correction. I do think it's going to be a relatively short ABC correction, and then I think we're going to continue this push to the upside. But what we want in order to kind of allow for this kind of correction to happen here and that continuation to the upside is we want to lower the stochastic RSI pretty swiftly to the downside without doing too much damage to the price. So we're looking for a really small ABC, but we're looking for large movements on the stochastic RSI, specifically on this hourly chart, but also across the other timeframes as well. If we take a look at the 4 hourly, right, this stochastic RSI, it needs a correction, so we should be thinking that there's going to be some kind of ABC move here. Again, we aren't looking for anything too major. We want it to be a short ABC, but we want sharp action on that stochastic. As again, we take a look at the 8 hourly right up in the overbought area. We want to see that come down. And the daily, again, actually, it's not too bad, but we would like to see that come down a little bit as well, or stabilize where it is. And likewise, on that weekly, it's moved far too much to the upside, in my opinion, as we find ourselves trapped inside this potential bound here. So what we want to do is we also want to lower this weekly stochastic RSI. That might actually take a lot more for XRP, so we want to be a little bit cautious here. With this weekly stochastic RSI, this is much higher than I would like it to be, considering where we are actually, plotted out on the charts here. So for XRP right now, we are looking for some kind of corrective move across the timeframes, but I'm not expecting anything too major, unless, of course, that sentiment shifts and changes, and we actually start to see reason to sell off in XRP. So, guys, I'm going to leave the video there. Nice brief update here on XRP. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Don't forget to join us in Discord. Links in the description down below, and our Patreon services are also linked in the description down below as well if you're looking for a bit more from this crypto space. Guys, with all that said, done, and out of the way, I will catch you all in the next one.